The husband of the jailed British mother, Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe, has struck out in defence of his wife, who was labelled a dirty spy by a senior Iranian cleric.
Richard Ratcliffe has urged the country's ambassador here in London to make clear to all state bodies in Iran that his wife was not involved in espionage.
And it comes just days after he was said there was still a chance his wife will be home in time for Christmas. Well, Richard Ratcliffe joins us now. Richard, are you still holding out hope for that?
Yes, I mean, yeah, as you say, it's been a turbulent week or so, and we've had stuff in the Iranian media. We've also had, as you said, that cleric, so the guy who leads the Friday prayers, saying some pretty terrible things about the Foreign Secretary, but also about Nazanin, which obviously is not a great sign. At the same time, there's been other positive movements, sort of at case level.
And even last night, didn't you get some more detail? Tell us about that.
So that's right. So we've been having sort of positive movements in that she's been getting more phone calls, she's been getting more visits, and all kind of things that are hopeful, but you know, never know quite what they mean. But actually, last night she met. Well, yesterday afternoon she met with her lawyer. Last night, her lawyer told her family, and he said, well, he was actually much more hopeful. And that's what he told her, because on the judiciary computer, so the database that records the status of cases, it said that she's eligible for release. So that's on the computer, it's in the background, she's not been told, but a really hopeful sign.
And was that just something that the lawyer discovered, or was he informed by somebody to say, look, we're moving her up to eligible for release?
No, as far as I understand, it's on the computer. It's not like he's been told formally.
Right, okay.
So what he told her was they're just going to process the paperwork, and gosh, that could take a while still.
So look, we've had, I mean, it's been an extraordinary few weeks for you, Richard, and we've really appreciated you coming in and sharing your updates with us. The last time we saw you was on the sort of the verge of Boris Johnson, our Foreign Secretary, going out there. You were hopeful to go with him. Obviously, that didn't happen, sadly. Do you feel like that visit from the Foreign Secretary has been positive or negative? Regarding what this cleric said about him as well? Well,
I mean, I think broadly it's been a change of tide. So him going, the importance of the Foreign Secretary going, raising her case, improving other issues. In our case, what we've seen is suddenly, as I was saying, she's been allowed to call me every day. She's been had extra visits. We had that extra court case that we were worried about, dropped away. First of all, it was postponed, then it was cancelled, and now we've seen on the computer. So there's been all this positive step. At the same time, there's been a backlash, and there have been lots of the hardline media talking about how can we, entertain Boris Johnson, what a terrible country Britain is, talking in all sorts of ways, and Friday prayers, and part of the reason why Friday prayers I thought was particularly, but I mean that's being said in a religious space that she's just not a spy even. I mean, obviously I keep saying it, but even the revolutionary courts never said that. So that's why I wanted the ambassador to sort of clarify to all of the state bodies.
So you've contacted the Iranian ambassador in London. Yeah. Have you had a good response?
I haven't had a response yet. I mean, typically I wouldn't get a response from my communication. So it's as much putting on record that, listen, that's not acceptable.
So look, every each one of these tiny little steps, you're holding on to the hope and the sort of the prospect that Nazanin could be back in time for Christmas. How is she doing at the moment? Is she feeling more positive with the increased contact that she's been able to
Yes, I mean, up and down for both of us, of course. So certainly all the sort of micro signs were very positive. Friday prayers, much more down. I've been reassuring her for quite a long time. Listen, I think there's still a chance. I think there's still a chance. And obviously, as we got closer to Christmas, that's become more of an act of faith rather than evident. But again, yesterday, positive news. So, I mean, fingers crossed still, huh?
How do you hold it together? You're so calm and so positive. I can't help but feel that you must be absolutely like a
have my creaky moments, certainly.
Violin string, especially as we edge so close to Christmas.
And last year, of course, I was in a similar place of hoping, and it didn't happen, and there was a real crash afterwards. So part of me is keeping some hope in reserve, because I may need to go again. Huh?
Well, look, Richard, we send you all of our love and keep all our fingers crossed for you and Nazanin and your little girl, of course, and the whole family. Fingers crossed that can happen, and you never know, it might just suddenly happen without you even knowing. But I know that the battle won't stop for you.
Oh, I can hardly hold my breath, let alone you. It's amazing. Thanks very much indeed.